Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Maller Grodner Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. LawMG.com. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnerships with communities and organizations. Rural.indiana.edu. Smithville Fiber Internet Security Solutions and Voice in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Bunger & Robertson Attorneys at Law, utilizing 75 years of experience, knowledge, and resources to help individuals and families recover in personal injury matters. Information at lawbr.com. And by WTIU members. Thank you.
Coming up on Indiana Newsdesk. Parents are divided on Monroe County Community School Corporation's proposed plan to consolidate Childs and Templeton elementary schools.
We're very uncomfortable with this method of splitting up the schools in a strange way.
MCCSC has also announced a plan to study redistricting all schools. Some residents are concerned about a proposed housing development on Bloomington's southwest side that could add more than 4,000 homes.
It's like putting another city. It's like putting Mooresville or Martinsville in that plot of land over there.
The development would also include office space, retail shops, and restaurants. And Indiana University's Board of Trustees votes on a plan to separate the Kinsey Institute from the university. We'll have these stories plus the latest news from across the state right now on Indiana Newsdesk. Welcome to Indiana Newsdesk. I'm Joe Wren. It's been about a year since state legislators passed a law forbidding Indiana University from using state funds for the Kinsey Institute. Since then, work groups have been formed to study how to separate the world-renowned Sex Research Institute from the university while still keeping it part of IU. Now, 2 weeks ago, a Kinsey work group presented its proposal to the university. And today at the Board of Trustees meeting, the university voted on how to proceed. We're joined now by Ethan Sandwise from New Albany for more. Ethan.
Hi, Joe. I'm here in New Albany on the campus of IU Southeast, where just a couple hours ago, the IU Board of Trustees voted to keep the Kinsey Institute as part of the university. I don't think anyone really knew what the outcome was going to be today, and this outcome is a bit of a surprise. Just earlier this week, people on IU's campus were protesting, partially about the Kinsey Institute, but also about other perceived threats against academic freedom in Indiana. Dozens of IU students, faculty, and staff protested Tuesday against what they see as a multi-directional assault on academic freedom at IU. They wore green feathers, as people had in the 1950s when opposing the Red Scare. Protesters cited 3 issues that have recently raised questions about academic freedom at IU. First, a potential separation from the Kinsey Institute.
But if the legislators see that they can be successful in getting the university to separate a department or a research institute that they don't like, they will continue to do this with other departments and other fields of research.
A state bill that could functionally end tenure.
It's telling us that we have to restrict our presentation of viewpoints, and that seems odious.
And perceived retaliation against pro-Palestine views on campus.
We have also seen how the administration here applies its values on campus with respect to what speech should be allowed or not.
A rally that afternoon took place around the statue of Alfred Kinsey. Speakers ranged from urgent to lighthearted, at one point encouraging the crowd to tickle away a giant foot that threatened to crush academic freedom. The event attracted mostly faculty and graduate students, but some undergraduates came to voice their opposition to the tenure bill, Senate Bill 202.
Freedom of speech is embedded in university, and this is just undermining it to the greatest degree it can.
But what's most egregious about this bill is what it targets and who it targets. Professors who dare to speak about racism and discrimination in their classes.
With votes looming on Kinsey and SB 202, attendees worried that life at IU could soon look quite different.
Now, faculty are not happy about Senate Bill 202 either, but it passed the Senate last night and is now headed to the governor's desk. Can you tell us a little bit more about the bill and why people don't like it?
So this has been a complicated week for these Green Feather protesters. Senate Bill 202 passed the Senate and is heading to the governor's desk. Senator Shelley Yoder, who represents Bloomington, had some pretty strong words on the bill.
It is undermining our state institutions, but it's really undermining free speech and academic freedom in every state institution in Indiana.
All right, Ethan, thanks so much for your reporting. Students at public universities in Indiana say conservatives are less likely to feel that they can openly express their opinions than their liberal classmates. That's according to survey data from the Indiana Commission for Higher Education. Republicans at the State House say the data justifies Senate Bill 202, but a study by the National Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression found both Purdue and IU rank much higher nationwide for tolerance of conservative speech than for liberal speech.
If you actually dig into it, the professors that were sanctioned, that caused a lot, that drove their ranking down a bit, they were punished for expressing liberal progressive views, not for conservative speech.
The spokesperson for FIRE agrees the perception of conservative students is concerning, but doesn't necessarily indicate institutional bias. Some Indiana University faculty and staff are asking leaders to do more to stop anti-Semitism and attacks on Israel. Aubrey Wright has this story.
With about 60 members in Bloomington and Indianapolis, the group wants to support IU's Jewish community and share Israel's history.
Anti-Semitism has become a threat, not just on campuses, but all over the place.
The group, Faculty and Staff for Israel, wrote to the Board of Trustees and President Pamela Whitten last week. They want the Campus Anti-Semitism Advisory Board to meet more often and see a similar one created for Indianapolis.
We're all for free speech, and we don't want to see it seriously curtailed, but it can also be badly abused.
They also want IU to enforce its code of conduct, saying the uptick in anti-Semitic events and pro-Palestine demonstrations threaten members of the IU community. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Aubrey Wright.
Developers want to bring more than 4,000 homes and commercial space to a large swath of undeveloped land on Bloomington's southwest side. Lucas Gonzalez reports nearby residents doubt the area can handle the density this project would bring.
Nestled between RCA Community Park and Interstate 69, Arbor Ridge is a small neighborhood consisting largely of retirement-age residents. They say they enjoy the peace and quiet of living there. But that could change if a huge mixed-use development bringing thousands of new homes to the area is approved. Sudbury Development Partners, LLC, wants to rezone nearly 140 acres of land right next to Arbor Ridge so it can build 5 new neighborhoods there, collectively called Summit District. Kelly Wesley has lived in Arbor Ridge since 2007. She says the neighborhood has mostly stayed the same since then, and this project threatens to change that.
I could get on board with it if it was just less dense, a lot less dense.
Developers plan to build a mix of single and multifamily homes, condos, apartments, and townhomes. They also want to bring office space, retail shops, restaurants and hotels, as well as a fire station and a trailhead. Wesley says that would bring a lot more people to the area and much more traffic. Possibly more than the area can handle.
It's like putting another city, it's like putting Mooresville or Martinsville in that plot of land over there. I mean, it's obvious why that's not desirable for anybody that lives here on so many levels.
Arbor Ridge's main entry point is Weimer Road, a roughly 1.5-mile, 2-lane road. It would also lead into the proposed development. Residents say Weimer floods often and is a frequent source of traffic backups. Randy Craw lives across from Arbor Ridge to the west of Weimer Road. He worries the road cannot support the amount of traffic this project would bring.
In the 25 years that I've been here, we've seen the volume of traffic on Weimer Road increase exponentially to the point that you have to be careful getting the mail out of your mailbox because of the volume of traffic and the rate of speed that they cut through.
He also worries the development may cause more water runoff onto his property.
If you look at roofs, blacktop, concrete, sidewalks, roads, everything else, that does not absorb water.
Co-developer Travis Venzel says there are plans to extend nearby Adams Street and Sudbury Drive and to reconstruct and realign Weimer Road. He added the development team has completed a traffic study, which is being updated with additional input from the city.
Some of them, they might need a turn lane, some of them, they might need some timing, but there is nothing in the traffic study that says initially that there needs to be major improvements other than some that we already know today.
The developers also plan to extend a sidewalk parallel to Arbor Ridge. The city says the sidewalk is in front of the neighborhood, so the HOA would be responsible for maintaining and repairing it when necessary. Residents say their HOA fees will increase as a result. Wesley says the HOA believes the sidewalk is behind the property, not in front of it.
We're probably going to have to build a fence or something like that. We'd like to get the developers to help us do that as an expression of goodwill. That would go a long way.
The developers initially proposed a reduction in environmental protection standards, but later said they would change their petition to meet the city's environmental regulations. They also initially wanted to build up to 6,000 homes, but have since scaled back. A resident previously wrote to the city saying they think the project could bring about 10,000 residents to the area. Tyler Ridge, Venzel's co-developer, says there's no way to accurately determine population because he and Venzel are not developing the entire project.
We can't speak for what other developers will come in, and we can't tell you in 8 to 10 years if multifamily is going to be the hot button anymore. Perhaps it's commercial again. Perhaps it's boutique hotels. It really is impossible at this point.
To be built, the development must first go through the city's plan commission. Once the plan commission weighs in, the city council will have the final say on the project. Isabel Piedmont Smith represents the first council district where Arbor Ridge and the planned development site are. She called the project an overall net positive because it helps address the community's housing needs. But she still says she has many questions about aspects including road sufficiency and connectivity, stormwater, and wastewater. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Lucas Gonzalez.
Now, city regulations say that at least 15% of the total units built must be income restricted. Coming up next on Indiana Newsdesk. The proposed housing development on Bloomington's southwest side would include around 4,000 houses along with retail and restaurants. And plans for expanding the Monroe County Convention Center move forward, while another site for a new jail is rejected. These stories and more right here on Indiana Newsdesk.
Are you nervous?
A little.
And action!
Bright things ahead, darling. Brightness and joy. I've got plans.
Everything feels better after a cup of tea.
Now talking.
I just want to be right here in this moment with you.
You're going to be a bigger star than ever.
This is good news for all of us.
Best episode ever.
I was married to Fred Rogers for a little over 50 years.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
PBS was very important to him. He had gone around to check out what was this thing called educational television. And he said, I like it.
Won't you be my neighbor?
It's so important to have those values carried on for every child and every family.
Please won't you be my neighbor?
Welcome back to Indiana Newsdesk. The Monroe County Community School Board held work sessions this week, taking public feedback on the proposed merger between Templeton and Childs Elementary Schools. The merger is meant to balance socioeconomic status of families, but the parent opinion on the strategy is split. Benta Boutier has this story.
It's a flurry of activity for Sam Topin-Hochstadt and Katie Edmonds on a weekday morning, getting a preschooler and kindergartner out the door. Brushing teeth, combing hair, eating breakfast, shoes, jacket, bags, and they're off. Sam usually bikes with their son Leo to his school, Childs Elementary, but today they're walking.
I walked to elementary school every day with my dad as a kid, and I really wanted to be able to do that with my kids.
Walkable infrastructure and transportation logistics are some of their top concerns with the merger. The proposed grade split for pre-K through second grade and third through sixth also poses challenges, splitting their kids into separate elementary schools.
When my daughter starts kindergarten in a year and a half, then we would potentially have kids at 2 different schools instead of having them be at the same school. And that just makes everything much more difficult.
The merger is meant to balance socioeconomic status of families between the schools. Childs has one of the lowest rates in the district, while Templeton has one of the highest.
I totally understand why the board is trying to address this and why it's been a challenge for them to come up with strategies to address.
The school board voted Tuesday to start evaluating redistricting options, which Sam and Katie are more in support of because it addresses inequalities among the schools more widely. Across town, Colleen Rose goes over homework with her youngest daughter, Anne Cash, before school, while her oldest daughter, Noelle, practices piano. It's a typical morning in their house, packing up for a drive to Templeton Elementary.
I do mornings because my spouse is a teacher and he heads out, so I get the girls ready.
They were excited to hear about the proposed merger between Templeton and Childs. Her husband's a teacher in the district, and they have experience with Fairview and Templeton, which have some of the highest rates of students on free and reduced lunch in the district.
There's so much concentrated poverty and thus trauma in the classrooms that it makes it really difficult to teach. It makes it difficult for kids to learn.
Her family likes Templeton, its teachers, and the education they receive there.
We wanted our kids to have an opportunity to, while they were young, to experience people who may have different stories from them, different experiences from them, and it has been mostly positive.
But she says children coming from generational poverty are shortchanged by the imbalance. In 2023, the Monroe County Community School Corporation ranked 78th in Indiana for iRead results with a passing rate of just under 92%. Of MCCSC's elementary schools, Childs had the second highest passing rate at over 95%. Templeton's passing rate for iRead was 79%. This week, the school board held sessions at Jackson Creek Middle School in Templeton to gather public feedback and hold public discussion on the merger. April Hennessy, the school board president, says MCCSC is set on addressing educational access in the district as part of its 5-year strategic plan, and the merger is one idea.
So that isn't just about balancing SES, it's about the disciplinary disparity in our schools and how that impacts certain populations differently than others. It's about, the sort of hiring of diverse individuals that represent our students and our school communities.
Hennessy says the school board proposed the merger as an idea to be evaluated with the community, which is why more analysis hasn't been done prior to bringing it to the public.
And I've heard things like, well, we should have started with a better plan. But then I've also heard things like, well, we want transparency and we want to be part of making the plan.
At the Wednesday night meeting at Jackson Creek, she told parents the board is in the information gathering phase. Katie left Wednesday's meeting with mixed feelings and doesn't understand why the initial merger proposal included an implementation goal for August this year if the board is gathering information.
I think a lot of us would support being redistricted into Templeton. I know I would. And yet we're very uncomfortable with this method of splitting up the schools in a strange way.
On Thursday night at Templeton, the board continued the conversation. Rose says she's waited a long time for disparities between schools to be addressed. She will be disappointed if a merger doesn't happen, but not surprised.
The proof will be in the pudding. It's been 30 years since we've redistricted, so I hope we're ready to do what we need to do and not have another 30 years.
She feels optimistic about the board's commitment to addressing disparities between schools. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Benta Boutier.
The board will discuss the merger again at its March meeting. They're also advertising for experts currently to provide information on redistricting. We're joined now by Callie Lichter for the latest headlines from around the state. Hi, Callie.
Hi, Joe. An interlocal agreement for the Monroe County Convention Center expansion is headed to the mayor's desk after the Bloomington City Council signed off on the deal Wednesday night. Only Councilmember Kate Rosenbarger voted against the agreement. She questioned whether the convention center is the best use of food and beverage tax funds, which the project has been collecting on since 2018. But other members say the project is too far along.
There are deadlines to do with when this money has to be spent, and I think that it's not practical to think about steering the boat in a new direction at this point.
The County Council and County Commissioners have both approved the document. The Monroe County Commissioners say they are no longer considering county-owned land on Bloomington's southwest side near Switchyard Park as a future jail site.
There are numerous problems with the Thompson property, especially if we want to co-locate the courts and the other parts of the justice system with the jail.
Jones says a mound of soil and debris would have to be removed, and Duke Energy would have to move a portion of its high voltage power lines on the property. Doing so could delay the project by at least 2 years and cost the county several $1 million.
There is a human cost to delaying a project that cannot be ignored. We will continue to have to rely on our current jail facility in the interim, a jail which has been deemed unconstitutional.
The commissioners are now considering what's called the North Park property, about 400 acres between State Road 46 and Arlington Road. The property is privately owned, but the commissioners say it has better traffic access than the Thompson property and will not require rerouting of utilities. Monroe County is partnering with Habitat for Humanity to build new income-restricted housing south of Bloomington. The county commissioners want 70 units built on South Old State Road 37 in the area between Kroger and Clear Creek Elementary.
I feel very strongly that if you work in Monroe County, you should be able to afford to live in Monroe County. And part of the barrier to that is just the lack of supply.
The plan also includes an on-site daycare that could serve at least 32 children. Gender-affirming care for minors is now banned in Indiana. That's after a decision by the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals, which removed a temporary injunction that a judge issued last year. Lawmakers had passed a law banning such care in 2023, but the ACLU challenged it in courts, and the law didn't fully go into effect until now. The ACLU described the ruling as heartbreaking and vowed to continue to fight. A bill that aims to make more land available for housing in Monroe County by allowing development on steeper slopes is headed to the governor's desk. The bill would increase the maximum slope developers can build on from 15% to 25%, with an exemption for land that drains into drinking water reservoirs like Lake Monroe. Monroe County stormwater and planning experts say allowing development on steeper slopes could send sediment pollution into underground streams that resurface in other areas of the county. And Joe, there's officially 2 weeks left in this year's session, but lawmakers are hoping to wrap up by next Friday.
All right. Callie, thanks so much. A new provider in Bedford is offering same-day and next-day appointments. The Indiana Health Center is one of 2 health offices in Lawrence County. There are 39 across the state. Isabel Vesperini has this story.
Practice manager Victoria Malachi says there's an urgent need for healthcare in a rural area like Bedford, where it can take months to schedule an appointment with a doctor. The center provides basic care, physicals, vaccinations, and a lab on site.
The primary care need is lacking here in Bedford, especially for the underserved. That includes people with, Medicaid, even private insurance. There's just a lack of options in Bedford.
Malachi says the need for access to healthcare increased when Ascension St. Vincent's Dunn Hospital closed abruptly last year. Approximately 6,000 patients were displaced after the hospital's closure, forcing many to go as far as Bloomington or Paoli for an appointment. The center can see patients so quickly because it is still building its patient load. 2 providers see patients daily. At the end of December, IHC had around 1,200 patients. A primary goal is providing preventive care. Malachi wants to help patients recover early so their sicknesses do not worsen while waiting longer for an appointment somewhere else.
Before the problem gets too big, where you would have to visit the hospital, or your health would take, a turn for the worse. We want to get that preventative care first, so that hopefully you don't have to visit the hospital or emergency room.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Isabella Vesperini.
IHC accepts most insurance plans, including private ones. Most of the patient load, 38%, are on Medicaid. A sliding fee scale is available for those who are underinsured or have no insurance. That's the end of this program, but our work continues online as we cover the news throughout the week at WTIUnews.org. Have a great weekend.
Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Maller-Grodner Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. LawMG.com. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnerships with communities and organizations. Rural.indiana.edu. Smithville Fiber Internet Security Solutions and Voice in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Bunger and Robertson Attorneys at Law, utilizing 75 years of experience, knowledge, and resources to help individuals and families recover in personal injury matters. Information at lawbr.com. And by WTIU members. Thank you.